dreamt about him again.
That's your conscience at work, as before.
It's different this time.
How so?
This time, he's alive. It felt real.
Maybe it is real.
What do you mean?
You think he is dead because you didn't answer his call that night.
Yes.
I say he is alive in another world.
I see. One of those multiverse thingies.
Exactly. That night, your decision created a parallel reality. In there, you picked up his call. A chain of events took place, and he lived. He is dead in our world, and he is alive in another world.
It's quite an imagination, I must admit. It is a beautiful thought.
Imagination is the work of an optimist. It can only be beautiful, like the smile of an infant, like the grace of the Lord.
Do you believe in God, Doctor?
I can't say I don't.
What's the difference?
It is the difference between doubt and disbelief. Disbelief is the lack of faith. Doubt is the questioning of faith. What about you? Do you believe?
Not anymore. Now, since I realized prayers don't matter. Where was God when I prayed for my dad? What benefit of doubt would you give him?
Perhaps he was too busy managing a myriad of universes. When each being has a billion copies, would it matter to God if one of them ceases to exist?
I guess not. But it matters to me because I don't have a billion dads. It was the only family I had. All I have now is grief.
Grief isn't a bad thing. It teaches us empathy. Without that, we could never connect with others. Family or no family, we'd be truly alone. So, the way I see it, grief is a gift.
Yeah? What about death? Is that a gift too? What does that teach?
What it means to be alive. In this world, at this moment, you are alive. That's all that matters. Live your life. Your dad would have wanted that. That concludes our final session. But you can always reach out to me if you need to talk to somebody. Remember what I said. Your conscience is the reason for your depression and for all of these dreams. Stop blaming yourself, and you'll be alright, okay?
Way too long in this crazy world. How far is here? And I just keep on praying, Lord, and just keep on living. Praying, Lord, and just keep on living.
For him, it's real.
We're joined now by Public Schools. Though he's been lagging in the be part of the trial. First, do you agree with Schumer's proposal?
I do. I think that
That must be a special coin.
Sorry, I got distracted.
I see you playing with it often.
My dad gave me this when I was a kid. Holding it makes me feel less lonely. You were saying something before I lost you.
Clearly, that didn't engage you. So, let me demonstrate it. Can you flip that coin and catch it?
This one?
That one.
Okay. I think it's heads.
Let's see. As it is, you win. So, when you flip a coin, there are two possibilities, but there can only be one result. Either heads or tails, isn't it?
Of course.
What if it's both heads and tails?
How's that possible?
Quite possible, says MWI.
Says who?
MWI, Many Worlds Interpretation. Some call it multiverse theory. Never heard?
Oh.
It's simple. When you flip this coin, our world has split into two. Both worlds are identical in every way, except in one of them the result is heads, and in the other it is tails. Well, basically, every possible outcome of every event defines its own history.
That sounds like science fiction.
No fiction, pure science. Ever heard of string theory? It's a particle physics concept. But let's not get into that now. All we need to know is every decision we make spins up one or more parallel universes, and every probability becomes a reality in one of them.
What? Are you a particle physicist now? You're a psychiatrist before I flip the coin.
Nah. I'm still your shrink. It's just I have a serious interest in quantum physics. It's a fascinating subject. It gives simple explanations for some pretty complicated stuff.
Really? You just gave a pretty complex explanation for a simple coin flip. Sorry. I was judged. Can it explain my dreams?
Most certainly. But you have to suspend your common sense for a while. Can you do that?
I'll try.
It's an interesting coin you got there.
Excuse me?
You've been staring at it for a while now. It really must be a special coin.
Special. Yes, very much so. How much for this?
That'll be $2.29.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
Will you stop doing that?
Sure, remind me next time. Come on, it's Friday, it's happy hour. Let's go get some drinks.
I can't. I have a doctor appointment at 5:30. I have to fix this before I go.
You don't need to. And once in a while, you need to listen to your boss, which is me in this world, in case you have that all mixed up. Let's go quick. I need to be someplace at 5:30 as well. So, tell me about this dream.
What dream?
The dream you're dreaming before I woke you up.
Oh, wasn't a dream. I was thinking about this nightmare I had in the morning.
Well, what is it this time? Did I get hit by a bus? Oh wait, it won't be a nightmare then.
Somebody got hit by my car. I don't know who. Something about him was familiar. I can't tell what.
So, what happened to him? Did he survive or?
I don't know. I'm not sure if there was a collision. I hit the brakes and there was a loud noise. If I had hit him, it was a moment later. But I woke up before that. I don't know if it was too late.
Who do you think it was? Any guesses? These people in your dreams are always somebody you knew, aren't they?
Not really. I see strangers too. But
But
before, it was either the people I knew or total strangers. But it always happened in a totally strange place. Always. But this time, it happened near the doctor's office.
you mean that shrink you're going to see after this? The one who tells these other world stories? No. Don't tell me you started believing in that stuff.
Why not? I mean, the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Besides, these are not just stories. These are scientific theories.
Theories with no proof. Yet, you have no problem believing in them?
There's no proof that God exists, yet there are billions of believers.
God is a matter of faith. Science is not. It's supposed to look for proofs, isn't it?
Science looks for evidence, not proof. There's a completely different thing.
Okay. Let's get back to the dream. What exactly about it is bothering you?
This accident. It happened when I was returning from my last counseling session.
You're about to go to your last session.
Yeah, and it freaks me out. I can't explain the feeling, but it's like I saw my future. What if it is too late? I do not want another dead man on my conscience.
Can I tell you something? A word of wisdom I read somewhere. Our brains are wired to seek a grand purpose behind everything. We try to make sense of things that appear to make no sense at all. But most of the times, things are exactly what they appear to be.
And your point is?
My point is, your dreams are just dreams. They aren't some kind of visions. They don't make your future. You make your future. Have a little faith in yourself.
Faith. There was a little discussion about faith in that dream. And you brought it up. Don't you think that's a signal?
I think you're just going nuts. I also think it's time for us to leave. Tell you what, this doctor's office, isn't it on the first street? It's close to where I'm heading now. I can drive you both ways. No driving for you. Nothing to worry.
Nah, I have another idea. In that dream, I parked my car in the basement garage. I'll park it somewhere else now. I'll take a walk from there.
Change the detail, change the outcome. Not a bad idea.
Can it explain my dreams?
Certainly. But you have to suspend your common sense for a while. Can you do that?
I'll try.
Alright. Common sense tells us that parallel lines, like train tracks, can never meet. But imagine a universe where parallel lines crossing each other is the only certainty.
An imaginary universe?
No, a real one. I told you how our decisions and actions could create parallel worlds. There are billions of them, with minuscule differences. Our solar system, our planet, even you and I, could be present in another universe, with the slightest of differences.
Okay.
The physical laws governing these other universes could be different too. For example, time could run at a different speed in another universe. What is half a day for us may be half a second in another universe. What is impossible here may be the only possibility somewhere else.
But what does this have to do with my dreams?
I'm getting there. You said that in these dreams, you often see yourself going to strange places, meeting strange people, and doing strange things.
Yes. But I also see people I know, like my dad.
Right. You also said that quite often your dreams look like sequels to previous dreams.
Yes. Sometimes it's like watching a reality TV show with a few episodes skipped. Sometimes it's like watching them in random order.
What if these are not dreams? What you see is all real. Very real.
Not dreams?
Yes, I mean, it's your dreams for sure. But for him, it's real.
Him? Who's him?
Your other self, who lives in a parallel universe.
I see. What is real for him somehow becomes my dream.
Precisely.
But how is it possible?
When there are multiple universes, there's a probability for two of them to intersect, which makes it possible for you to connect with one of your copies in another universe. I think your dreams are letting you somehow peek into the life of a specific copy.
That sounds absolutely absurd.
I know. But do you have a better explanation?
What is real for him somehow becomes my dream. But how is it possible? Something about him was familiar. I can't tell what.
How our decisions and actions could create parallel worlds.
Actions.
When you flip that coin, our world has split into two.
That's impossible.
When there are multiple universes, there's a probability for two of them to intersect.
But I saw it many hours ago. It already happened there. I hit him. It was a moment later.
What is half a day for us maybe half a second in another universe. What is impossible here